everybody, this is Dr. Joe Borio, this week's Health Kick. Kick. That's what I'm talking about right there. I think I just heard myself. But kick. I'm not a martial arts guy. But in any case, that's why we call it a health kick. It's something to kind of kick you in gear. It's something to spice you up. It's something to get you going, get you moving. And today we want to talk a little bit more about some of those health topics that we've been trying to put together. And one of them would be minerals. Antioxidants and the multivitamin, and I talked about that a while back. I had a lot of emails on it, so I just want to break up what all those are specifically, because what I talked about in that last one was multivitamins and how to pick a good multivitamin, and then what we do is we start separating things. So I'm going to use an example that was brought to me. It's raining outside. I was outside, so my hair is wet. But an example that was brought to me was when you look at a photograph. If you look at a photograph on a newspaper, it's really made up of a bunch of dots. So when you stand back there and you see it in its totality, right? And that looks like a photograph. The closer you get, you start to see all the dots that it's made up, but it loses the image. You can't tell what it is if you're looking at it up very closely. So that's what happens to us because we're mechanistic, we're medical minded in our society, that we're looking for a magic bullet. We're saying, hey, B12 versus B6 versus vitamin C versus vitamin D. I hear everybody talking about vitamin D and so forth. We start trying to micromanage all of those things when in reality, when in truth, if we're putting good live living food in our body nutritionally and supplementing it with a whole food vitamin, you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to look at all the dots. You don't have to look at all the dots. You can just make sure that you're putting really healthy, good, nutritious food in you and putting good vitamins in you. You got to understand, when you eat something out of the ground, it has minerals, it has antioxidants, it has vitamins. Now, vitamins are what they really call as cofactors. What a vitamin does is a vitamin allows for or facilitates or speeds up a reaction in your body. So all your cells are doing all these little chemical reactions trying to make certain things, hormones and fats and proteins and cells, and your body's trying to replicate itself, it's repairing itself, it's replicating itself all the time. Just in talking to you, I'm making hair and liver cells and kidney cells and skin cells, and my immune system's making white blood cells and different types of white blood cells, and it's balancing my blood pressure and digestion. It's unbelievable, and that's all controlled by the nervous system. But what helps the body as well is good nutrition. And good nutrition is complemented by a good vitamin. And a vitamin, multivitamin, multi-mineral antioxidant, a good vitamin or a food is going to have all that in it, right? But we want to complement our food, so we're going to take a supplement. We're going to supplement with a vitamin, multi-mineral antioxidant. I know I'm repeating myself for a reason. So when I look at the vitamin, I know that a B6, for example, or vitamin C or vitamin D allow for chemical reactions in the body, so the body works more effectively, more efficiently, and so forth, allowing my body to do what it's supposed to do. That's what vitamins do. Now, minerals are vitally important for the body, because the mineral often has to be present for the chemical reaction to even occur. Many times, not always, but most of the time, the vitamin doesn't even need to be there necessarily, right? The vitamin doesn't always need to be there in order for the chemical reaction to occur. Vitamins allow them to work faster. Okay, a vitamin allows it, and this isn't 100%, but in general, vitamins allow them to work faster. Okay, some vitamins are essential for certain chemical reactions, but many times a vitamin isn't necessary. It allows it to work faster, more efficiently, your body to work more productively. Okay, but in mineral cases, for example, sodium and chloride, magnesium and calcium and so forth, they have to be there. They have to be in the body in order for any of the reaction to even occur. Minerals are really important. So where do we get minerals from? Well, if you get a whole food vitamin, whole food, that means you're taking organically grown foods free of pesticides and herbicides and so forth, and they bring them in. Why is that bad? Because they typically have mercury and arsenic and other bad things in them, right? So they take that stuff, they take that food, and they basically what? Process it so that you get to keep the good parts of it. And you're putting it all in there, so you're eating it in a complement of food. Your body was never designed to absorb something right out of the ground in like a pharmaceutical grade product. It was designed to take an orange, for example, which has proteins and carbohydrates and sugars and all those things on it, and eat it and digest it properly, and it recognizes it better, and it is what they call assimilates it. It absorbs it better if you use it that way. But once you strip it of everything and you just make vitamin C in a laboratory and you test a bunch of people, hey, it may work more effectively in one aspect, but often it can cause problems in another part. So you want to get foods, right, that are really organically grown, more ideally, as I've talked about. But now you want vitamins from their whole food. So now I'm going to get the vitamins and I'm going to get the minerals. The minerals are essential often for the reaction to even occur. Vitamins typically allow it to work more efficiently. Lastly, are antioxidants. Think of antioxidants as little compounds that are protective. They're like little guards, if you will, on all of our little not to make it too complicated, molecules. They're little guards of the molecule to prevent them to become overreactive, to prevent acid or different compounds to damage them. Why? Because once you damage a certain part of this compound, it damages the compound in the DNA level. So again, you probably heard of DNA and RNA and so forth, but those make up your genetic coding. They make up your genetic material. So when those molecules are damaged, they don't often join up with the other part of your genetic material. Therefore, mistakes are made. And often, because aging is a replication of our body, the less antioxidants, the faster you age. We talked about that in some videos before, but if I take a copier machine, and I make a copy of the original every time, the copy comes out much better. If I take a copy and then take the copy, right, and take the original off and make a copy of the copy and then do the same thing over and over, you'll see the copy degrades extremely quickly. So antioxidants allow us to take a more truer picture of the copy. They allow less damage to occur in the cell, which occurs from food, air we breathe, water we drink, chemicals in our area, and radiation. We don't think about it, we're being bombarded with environmental radiation. So by constantly putting in good antioxidants, guess what? I protect my body. Hey, guess where antioxidants are? In our food. Organically grown foods, they're very, very high in antioxidants. Darker fruits, for example, you've read, tend to be higher in those antioxidants. But almost all fruits and some vegetables are very high in antioxidants. Then they're also very rich and high in minerals, and they're also rich in vitamins. So see, nature already had it figured out. We lost our way, right? What did we do? We started thinking ourselves as separate from nature. We started thinking ourselves as humans, which aren't animals, which don't have to live by the same rules as everybody else. And guess what? We're now the sickest species on the planet. Human beings are the sickest species. Fish and different animals and so forth, they're all healthier than us. Why? Because we've lost our way. We've separated from following nature's rules, and as a result, we're getting sick. So how do we get healthier? We got to get back into following some rules of nature. All the rules would be ideal, right? Which would be eating more of those whole foods. That's what we're designed to eat, and supplementing your diet, not replacing it, supplementing your diet, your intake with a good whole food vitamin, which has minerals and antioxidants in it. It's the best way to go. Guys, this has been Dr. Joe Borio with this week's Health Kick. Remember, eat regularly, healthy, and make sure you're exercising. Make sure you drink a lot of water. Make sure you're getting a good night's sleep. Make sure you got some positive thoughts up there in that head of yours. You're not saying negative things. And make sure you and your mother and your father and your grandfather and everyone you know and work with me now, everyone on planet Earth needs a good chiropractor. We got to make sure those messages from the brain are getting to the body, and the body can communicate back to the brain. And the only way to do that is make sure your spine is consistently adjusted to make sure all of those messages get where they're supposed to. Have a great week. Spend time with your family. Talk to you guys next week.